white parties. I've been to Diddy's birthday parties. Speaking of hiding, Chrisean has come out from hiding and she's asking fans for prayers.
Both Jason Lee and Chrisean were invited to Diddy's parties several times. And Jason claims at one time, after seeing something he wasn't supposed to see, Diddy literally killed him. Chrisean, on the other hand, didn't get it. But rumors have it that Young Miami and the Baddies CEO, Lemuel Plummer, had Chrisean doing all sorts of crazy things. Their revelations about what they witnessed at Diddy's parties shocked the internet. According to Jason, who has access to inside sources who have been providing him with all their information regarding Diddy and his dubious allies, Diddy even began paying her twice as much as she was receiving for being on Bad Guys. If you know anything about Jason, you know that he has tea on everyone in Hollywood and isn't afraid to blackmail anyone, no matter how big they are. Jason says Diddy is attempting to blame this whole situation on his sons Chrisean and Justin. But the truth is that this case goes much deeper than any of us realize. Neck for a long time, and it appears that he won't be slowing down on dragging him anytime soon. In fact, he was among the first to inform Cassie about her lawsuit against Diddy. At the time, he was actually reluctant to speak out against Diddy because, first of all, they were friends, and second, he claimed he didn't want to be involved in the demise of a black man. However, after reading the lawsuit's details, Jason started singing a different tune. This was just the beginning of Jason dragging on Diddy, but he was immediately back after on his neck once more during an interview with Cam Newton, where he disclosed some previously unheard facts about Diddy. For those of you who were unaware, Jason and Diddy were not only friends but also had a business relationship. Jason had a show on Revolt TV, so he had the opportunity to witness some of the things Diddy is being accused of firsthand. He claimed that even though he attended many of his notorious parties, he never had a relationship with Diddy outside of their business.
I don't have a friendship with Diddy. He's not my friend. We don't hang out. We've texted a few times. I was on his network. I've been to many of his house parties.
And Jason said that Diddy would occasionally hire military-level security to ensure that no one broke in and took pictures during the parties he used to have, which would feature well-known guests such as Beyonce and Jay-Z.
I've seen Diddy have to hire extra security, almost the military, to stop people from wanting to scale the wall to get in his house, because on the other side of that wall is Beyonce, Jay-Z, and every big star you want to know. He was there too, but I don't know if he was busting open. I'm just saying. Because they said that too about the good Bishop.
Jason also discussed Diddy's history of terrorizing people and how some of the accusations against him made it extremely difficult for those who worked with him to feel at ease. He even recalled a time when he was at Diddy's house to discuss business, and Diddy left him after the conversation.
Musically, he's inspired the world for years. As a human being, he's had lots of conflict. He had Tupac's death, Biggie's death, all the drama. We had the with J-Lo, Shine went to prison. Maybe he shouldn't have went to prison. There's always been these stories about Diddy being evil. I've heard he was the devil. I heard he was evil. He even once me, but I don't know if it was the De Leon or Ciroc, or if it just felt itself. But I was taking a picture in his house and he walked over and he said, "Don't you ever try me. I'm letting you know right now, I'm a different type." I said, "Do you want to get in the picture or not? Because I'm drunk, you drunk, and I ain't about to do this with you." Yeah, he got in the picture, took the picture, he said, "I f with you, man. If you don't get your crazy Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde ass out of here." But you know.
However, Jason didn't stop there. In spite of everything he had to say about Diddy, he had that to say about his sons, Justin and Chrisean, claiming to know them personally and that they would never do the things they are accused of.
Justin, I don't know Christian as much as I know Justin. I've known Quincy probably 15 years. Those are really good kids. And I'm gonna call them kids even though they're grown, but they're really good people. To see them in handcuffs like that, I ain't gonna lie. And I don't know what's going on both sides, and I'm not a Diddy defender. Let me be very clear. If he did it, he should go to prison. You know, everybody that I've talked to says something about Diddy. He's evil, he's this, he's that. But that doesn't mean that you got your kids who are good kids out going to find young teenagers to bring back and have with. I don't know that to be those kids. If they find evidence that they did that, it would literally shock me, because I know them and I don't know them to be those people.
After this interview, he went on to another one with Adam and Wack 100, where he disclosed that 3 years prior, his straight friend who works in the same field as him told him about his involvement in a freak-off with Diddy and Cassie. Since we didn't know what we now know about Diddy at the time, he didn't believe him, even though the description his friend gave him was exactly like what Cassie had told him in court. Jason claimed that his friend told him that Diddy wanted him to have sex with Cassie while he sat in the corner of the room and enjoyed himself.
Now, I had a friend who told me years ago, like 3 years ago, we were literally having dinner in New York, and he goes, hey, man, because he used to be a Sean John model. I'm like, yo, so, you know, we were talking about modeling, and we used to do this thing where we would get together. He's straight, I'm gay. We would get together with a small group of us, and we would just eat and just gossip. It really is what it was. And he said, man, I've seen the craziest shit in this game, bro. He goes, one time, I was chilling, and I got a call that Puff wanted me to come over. This is all allegedly. He says 3 years ago. Wanted me to come over, pull up. I pulled up, and yo, he wanted me to like play with Cassie's pussy and this, and this. And he would sit there and film it, and he was playing with himself. And in my mind, you know what I said? You're a clout chasing, lying, manipulative. Oh my God, I can't trust. I literally stopped hanging out with him.
Believe all victims.
No, I literally. No.
Not all, but.
But was he a victim?
No, he was consenting. So that's what I'm saying. Next point.
Yeah, if Puff calls me, I want you to this hot chick.
But
okay.
this is all allegedly. But at the time when he said it, I really thought he was just crazy, being a clout chaser.
That's his thing, though.
And then full circle, I had to go. I had to call him. I went back to New York for something. I pulled up on him and I said, I'm sorry. Because
Khan became popular on social media while Jason was leaking all of this information. Because people were looking into her background with Young Miami and the rumors that she was being treated like a freak by Young Miami and the CEO of Diddy's Lemuel Plummer. In the first place, a video of Carissa accusing Young went viral, which prompted people to dig into this. She accused Miami of enlisting Chrisean and Diddy's freak-offs, saying that at one point, Miami became very close to Chrisean and frequently took her out. But she wasn't sure why until Diddy was implicated. At that point, she began to piece things together and realized that Miami was attempting to become one of Diddy's freak-off girls.
They was trying to recruit Chrisean. That's what Diddy and what's the girl Carisha was trying to recruit Rock. Remember that when they was heavily trying to get Rock to hang out with them? I think they was trying to recruit her. She got a lot going on. We're gonna talk about it on this podcast. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty of all the gritty of the nitty, because it's necessary. I think them was trying to recruit her. Cause remember they just had her pulling up to everything. Thought she about you love her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember? See what I'm saying? We don't. This podcast gonna be, cause y'all know the mama know everything in everybody's business. So we gonna find out on this podcast. We ain't gonna talk no shit about nobody. We ain't gonna mock nobody, but we definitely gonna explore the possibilities that was going on. Cause they kept calling her, remember, pull up to the birthday party, come over here and dance on Carisha. Remember that? I feel like they was trying to recruit that baby to be in on this. That makes you see what I'm saying? That's why I gotta have a podcast, cause I gotta get this on the table. Okay, ain't nobody get it on the table but my nosy. Okay, Tasha K ain't she over there making up. I know we gonna get to the bottom of on this podcast. Tell me if I'm lying. Go on over there and tell me if I'm lying. I'm telling you, they was trying to recruit that baby. They said, let's get her away from him. Mm-hmm. That's what they was doing. We gonna put a couple pounds of that on her and have her fly. They ain't gonna never suspect her.
Damn, that would make so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he grabbed him and he said, what did he say? He said, do you love her or she needs love? All she needs is love.
All she needs is love. Now, how about that? We're going to explore all the parts.
I have a video of Chrisean at one of Diddy's parties, where he repeatedly leaned over and kissed her face, was discovered by those who initially believed Carissa was attempting to influence Chase out of the matter as if things weren't strange enough. There's another video from January of this year in which Chrisean was shown to be extremely uneasy and perplexed. She attempted to go back smoothly, but he was holding her tight, telling the story of how Diddy jacked up the executive producer of Diddy's Lemuel Plummer. She claimed that Diddy invited her and Lemuel to his private room, which was located directly behind his actual house. It seems that some private events that people believe to be his freak-offs took place there, and Lemieux was not even permitted to bring his security with him. As soon as she and Lemieux entered, call her for not giving her enough money for being on Wicked Eyes. When I first heard this, I was completely perplexed because I couldn't see how her being underpaid by Lemieux could be related to Diddy. However, given that Diddy was attempting to recruit Chrisean to join his people, I thought it was just a ploy to give Khan a sense of security. She also mentioned that after that day, she and Lemuel began to have issues, but he began paying her well.
You'll never forget that motherfucking day, bro. So I set a price. I said 200,000. You said 100. I said 150. I'm not going underneath that. Cause what? I'm about to bring a lot to the table. That little party I went to, Diddy party. We went to the little private area behind the cause he had a house behind his house. Like he had a backyard with his backyard with a fat bed, and then it had like a miniature little whatever. And then me and Lemmy go upstairs. They tell him that he can't bring his security. He went in like a little with no security, so it's just me and Lemmy. We go up in there. Hold on. We go up in there. We go upstairs. He like, what's up, Diddy? You know, you met Chrisean. You gave her kisses on the cheek. Early on in the party or whatever. We just wanted to follow up. I'm glad that you Sean. And then he grabbed Lemmy by his neck and was like, but do you with her? Like, don't play with her. All she need is love. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. And I didn't understand that till...
Even before the rest of us had the tea, Jason and Chrisean were well aware of what Diddy was up to. Jason has been very vocal about what he knows, but Chrisean has been very silent, even though she has no problem updating us about her and Blue, whom we don't care for, as usual. People had opinions, such as this one. Lemmy was shortchanging her pay, and Diddy knew how Lemmy got down, so he cautioned Lemmy. Diddy wanted Chrisean to see him as her hero. What do you think about Jason and Chrisean spilling all the tea about Diddy's mess? Do you think Jason knows more than he's letting on? Let me know in the comments below. Another person said Jason Lee is full of crap. Diddy's two sons were charged with their own charges, one for and one for someone. So it's like father, like son. And their father is evil.